From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast, sports pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold May Day beer and let's get after it. As always, Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer of Pucks Out Podcast. Check them out on all their social medias at Mayday Brewery. On Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, to check out their schedule and all the dope events they've got going on. They got Singo, they've got Bingo, they've got dope beer, they've got good people. And most of all, they've got us there occasionally. So tell them Pucks Out sent ya. Today, we are covering news inside and outside the NHL. We got our games of the week. We have a new feature that we're talking about. And as always, we got Joke of the Week and talking a little bit of MCU TV shows. Brandon, how you doing this week, bud?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Had a good time at the hockey game on Saturday. Went bowling on Friday. Haven't bowled in forever.
Were you sore the next day?
A little bit. I didn't get a whole lot of bowling in. Time constraints, but not as sore as I was sore on my ego. My second game was a lot better. It was definitely, I had a couple of strikes, and you kind of getting back into form. I was feeling like Norm Duke or Eddie McCracken on Kingpin, a movie that you haven't seen, which I will encourage you to see. Go watch Kingpin out there if you haven't seen it. Can't go wrong with Bill Murray and Woody Harrelson. So I mean that's right there. Not hammer it down. But yeah, man, pretty good. Just watched some football. Watch some hockey and some soccer, and just getting geared up for Christmas, man. How about you?
Oh yeah, good week, man. Kind of getting back into the adjustment of things after being out of town. Had a dope time at the game, even though the Preds lost, and I lost my game of the week. But it was it was a fun time. We're going to talk a little bit about that, a little bit of it in the what's snapping our sticks. But for the most part, great fun time. Had got some new hats, which I'm rocking, which takes us right into our fit check of one of my new Hawaiians, which matches my dope Hawaiian Preds hat that I got.
Nice. Yeah, I was. I decided not to go with one of my new hats, and went with an oldie but goodie, with the Christmas Preds hat here to match it up with the North Pole Slayers. I got my Saint Nick jersey on. You know what I'm saying? So getting a little Christmas spirit. Probably try to wear another Christmas sweater next week. For Christmas time.
Hell yeah, nice. But yeah, check us out on Twitch, where we are currently doing a community channel point event where Brandon and I, in the vein of Mystery Science Theater 3000, will watch a old campy movie. Have fun with it. Talk with the fans. We're going to be getting our Seattle Kraken thing up and running soon. So come hang out with us. But let's jump into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
We have got a little bit of surprising news. This broke yesterday, Sunday. We're recording a day early. Eeli Tolvanen of the Nashville Predators has been waived and subsequently picked up by the Seattle Kraken. I don't really know how I feel about this. I think it was something that it's a little. I don't know. How do you feel?
I feel it's odd. I mostly feel odd because the C claimed Tolvanen. So that's sad for me to hear that he's been claimed by the C. But seriously, I'm feeling like you are, man. I don't really know. Obviously, pretty young. It just seems like a hasty decision. it seems like there was some more long-term value there than just letting it go for nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm missing something. Um,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's plenty of times where which we could have moved him for, as a package or a deal. Not really sure what to think about it, really. I mean, it's so, it's not a big time. He's not a big time player right now, but he is a big time draft pick. So it's kind of interesting to
Yeah.
see. Not making a lot of contributions this year, but there have been times where we've kept guys around a lot longer with little to no contribution. So a very
Yeah.
interesting move by the Preds.
Yeah. It just feels like once again, last season we were in this competitive rebuild that was better than we thought it would be, but I think we're pushing our luck a little bit. I don't know. Maybe David Boyle knows more. I mean, he definitely knows a little bit more than us, but maybe he sees something differently than we do because this feels just the wrong time to be doing this. I would have liked to maybe get to the All-Star break before we start dumping our good young players that at one point we saw as the future of this team. Chris Letang, available to play following his stroke 2 weeks ago, surprising everybody. I don't even know. Like, I know last week you said that you had one of your Avs players injured. Is Chris Letang now back before your Avs?
Oh
player?
yeah, are you talking about McKinnon? Yeah, he's going to
Yeah,
be out.
McKinnon.
McKinnon's going to be out for like 4 to 5 weeks. So yes. Probably should have just taken the trade, right? No,
Yeah.
no. But he is out. Going to be out longer than Letang there. So I mean that's crazy. A stroke 2 weeks ago, ready to go. I wonder if they'll give him a little more
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You just threw this on here. Jack Eichel on injured reserve. What is the diagnosis and what is the outlook on that?
Just saw it on Reddit's hockey thread. I'm looking. I tried to click on one, but apparently the Miami Herald does not give you even one free article. So just keep that in mind. Miami Herald, it was immediately. Let's see. Let's try to switch it up. We're gonna switch up the Google.
Yeah.
That's a skill in life, right? I mean, you got to be able to learn. You got to go with you can't find something typing it one way. We're gonna type it a different way. Figure it out. So let's see here. It doesn't seem it was a lower body injury. No, that was a different player. It doesn't really say. Yeah, I'm not really getting anything. He's missed 3 of the last 4 games. He played in the overtime victory of the Flyers, but was out last night against the Bruins. Yeah, it's not really, how they get to be kind of hidden with this, but nothing.
Like
I'm
we
not
do
really
not have a I hope it doesn't have anything to do with his disc replacement situation. I hope that this is not related to that.
That's what
But
they
anyway,
brought up. I don't know that it does have anything. It looks like he played 2 games ago, and it may just be, going back and predating that injury for the IR. Sometimes they'll do that.
All right, let's move into outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
The World Cup. We have our final for Argentina, Croatia, France, and Morocco. So far, almost all of my predictions have been wrong. I thought, last week I thought Brazil and England were going to be the final 2, and here we are.
Yeah, I called England too. I don't remember who I said from the other side. I said,
I
maybe
think you
Brazil.
liked Argentina.
Well, hopefully so. That would be good if I did. Yeah, man, an interesting.
No, I'm sorry.
4.
You like I think you said Netherlands. I think you said Netherlands.
Yes, I
said
think I
Brazil.
did think. I think I did think the Netherlands were going to move on. I don't know if I. Yeah, I may have predicted them to go all the way, but obviously we are not good at that at all. I think that my big thing is I think I'm okay with any of these teams winning it, as long as France does. As long as France doesn't. All the three
What's
other.
your issue with France?
They've won it more recently than anybody else.
Okay.
And I just really don't like the French. No, I'm just kidding. No, they've won it the most recently. I think it would be super cool to see Morocco go to a World Cup. I think obviously it would be cool to see Croatia go, or Argentina. Messi being there. And I think if he goes and gets to play in the final, he will have played the most World Cup games ever. He has to go and play in the final to do that. But yeah, man, I think it should be a good battle. I think Morocco plays a style of soccer that could beat France. So France is definitely going on. So we've established that I think that it's possible Morocco can move on. They will not. It will not not happen. So. But yeah, man, it's going to be a good one.
So I'm just looking at some things here, some small little details, some little fun facts, if you will. One of the most Googled things since over the past 2 weeks is what country is Croatia in? So that gives kind of an eyesight into, and that is specifically Google's here in America. Really gives you an eyesight of how Americans see the rest of the world. That I think
AKA.
I think they think that Croatia is just the one city that gets a team in the World Cup.
Yeah, they didn't even know it was called the World Cup. Okay, so you know what does suck is a Tuesday 1:00.
Yeah.
Final Four game. It's what? Yeah, it's I mean, even by look, I get it if it was at 1:00 on Saturday or something. But it just sucks to have it in the middle of the week, and then we got a Wednesday game as well. At least I'll be off that day, so I'll get to watch that. So yeah, man.
I think I'm pulling for Croatia at this point. I mean,
Miss Croatia.
They're the underdog, but yes, also Miss Croatia. I feel like we all deserve more of that.
Yes, yeah. She's in. I mean, we want her to win. I told you she was the Sister Jean of this tournament.
Yes.
Yeah. Just as much of a looker too, if you don't mind my saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Equally as hot.
I think we all need Sister Jean in that outfit that she's been wearing.
The switch, the outfit switch.
Yeah. Mike Leach, Mississippi State coach, is in the hospital. I think you said he had a heart attack.
Yeah, that was the reports. I think it was heart attack or potentially heart attack. There was like a really cryptic tweet about it early on. Like guy was like, talking about, well, there's just disturbing details that I don't want to go into. Well, nobody was, we weren't expecting you to go into it at all. You didn't even have to say that, man. Like, hey, like some stuff's going on. You could just have not said, hey, some super disturbing stuff, but I'm not going to tell you guys about it. All right. You guys don't want to hear what I know. All right. It's disturbing. Like, come on, man. Like, just seemed like a weird way to announce that somebody, is not doing well. So, hopefully he is, Mike Leach I'm a man. I'm 40, right? I think he's like 50 now.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a man and he was 40. So yeah, hopefully that 40 plus year old man will recover so he can be a man and be 50, a man and be 60, man and be 70.
Brock Purdy gets a win against the greatest of all time in Tom Brady. A stat that you have all heard now, probably all over the place, is that Brock Purdy is the first quarterback to win his premier game against Tom Brady. Did some research after digging. The list is 6 people. So yeah, 6 people have won it. Have not won. I'm sorry. So went 0-6. Those 6 people to face Tom Brady in their first start and lose were Luke Falk, EJ Manuel, Jake Locker with Tennessee, Tyler Palko with Kansas City, Matt Flynn with Green Bay, and Luke McCown with Cleveland. So I don't know if this is an impressive stat, but it certainly is a stat.
It is a stat. It is true that this happened, or at very least, this happened, and we have gathered at least incorrect data that supports the fake stat that we
Yeah,
got.
it could have happened as much as it did happen.
It sounds believable. So
Yeah.
we'll just throw that out there.
But yeah, no. San Francisco with an absolute dominant showing against that Tampa team. I mean, I picked up Brock Purdy in a league because Lamar Jackson's out, and he won me the week. He got me 21 points. I won by 6 points. I mean, without that
Yeah.
pickup, which I made literally 30 minutes before kickoff, I would have lost that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I mean, that's a solid showing.
Yeah, I had him on a bench in Blood, Sweat, and Beers, and honestly, if I would have played him over Josh Allen, I would have got a couple extra points out of the game. So I mean, yeah, really good week. I think he's got some injuries though, so we'll see what happens there.
I mean, he was taking. I mean, that first play of the game, he took a massive hit. He was getting hit all day.
Oh yeah, I think he's got some rib, or they want to say fibia or something that they were looking at. So I'm not sure his availability coming up, but yeah, what a great start, and they really just went out there and put it to Tampa. I mean, and Carolina wins yesterday, keeps them alive. I mean, somebody is going to have to win that division, and that's the craziest thing right now. Is I think that we've got like 2 or 3 5-8 teams there. I think maybe we have a 6 and 7 team. Not looking pretty.
Whereas over in the NFC East, I mean, these other teams are looking good. Commanders were off yesterday. I mean, luckily, it was disgusting. I was rooting for Philly just because I need the Giants to fall. I mean, that's how the Commanders get in the playoffs. But the NFC East is looking like one of the best. Is probably looking like the best division in football right now.
Yeah,
it has not been said in a long time.
Well, Detroit Lions are looking really good as well. Just go into and beat Minnesota. So I mean,
yeah,
a lot of parity in the NFL this year. I don't really see any outright favorite. You know, I mean,
yeah,
Kansas City looks good, but they just let Denver put up a whole lot of points on them. The Bengals have looked good, and then at times they have not. Also,
yeah. Hell, I mean, yesterday the Cowboys almost got upset by one of the worst teams in the NFL, the Houston Texans. I mean,
yeah, a lot of parity in the league this year. It's very it's been fun to watch. So we'll see kind of what happens. I'm ready to just I'm not ready to just, but we're about to move into fantasy football playoffs. We're about to get to a time, Bobby, where we can enjoy football again, just football for football's sake, and just losing money, just the good old tradition, the way that football was intended to be watched. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about fantasy football playoffs coming up. I'm looking like there's a good shot that I make the playoffs in every league. Not 100%. We still got a Monday night game tonight, but looking really strong. I will definitely not have a losing record in any league, which is pretty impressive. Yeah. Usually it's 1 or 2 that you just can't really pull yourself out of. So,
yeah. Texas suspends head coach after he beat his wife. So that's just I don't like that. This should be an automatic firing. I feel like with all these things with ethical clauses that all these players have. I mean. This was not he was arrested on it. Now, again, I haven't seen the details. I don't know how much evidence there is, but I mean, this is just because here's the thing. I feel like it's better for everyone if you just do a straight up firing. And then if it comes back and it wasn't as serious, then you can rehire him. But I feel like,
there's
suspension
more
on the front.
Yeah, that's more into it than contracts.
I guess there's like
it's not an hour.
Stuff.
Yeah, he's not an hourly worker. I think usually suspension is just probably the logical legal step that you have to do. We have to conduct the investigation. But yeah, I'm with you. I saw it happen. I haven't read into it. I haven't looked into it too much since we're recording a little bit early. But yeah, I mean. From what I saw, things were not looking towards his favor in the court of public opinion.
And I said wife. I said his wife. I'm sorry. It is his fiance. She said the fiance stated that they had been in an argument where she broke his glasses before he just snapped on me and became super violent. He
Well,
choked me, bit me, bruised all over the leg, throwing me around and going nuts.
to be fair, he
And
couldn't see, it sounds like. So how are we to know he knew where he was going? Okay, he has no glasses, buddy. You didn't say you gave him his contacts after. No, that's awful. You would think that that this will the firing will be coming very soon.
this is what I don't like. Beard was told while at his court appearance, he was told he could communicate with the woman, but not in a threatening manner.
Why didn't you like
I feel
that,
like we
Bobby?
could just.
You want her to be? You want him to be able to talk to her in a threatening manner?
Sorry. What I don't. I guess what I should say is what I don't like. It's just why not just say you can't talk to her?
Well, I mean, maybe they got to communicate about, going to lens crafters and stuff. I mean, there's a whole lot that they gotta have. We got to go to a Best Buy. It sounds like the TV is broken and a foot. So there's plenty of reasons for non-threatening communication. So
Yeah. I'm looking through this all. I mean, this looks like just first off, when originally questioned about it, he said that he did it, and then of course the moment he gets a lawyer, the lawyer says, "Oh, he didn't do it." I mean, this is
smart.
It looks. I mean, this carries. It looks like he's going to jail for several years.
Yeah. So I'm sure that Texas is all good with just firing him in a bit.
Yeah. Now, the only reason he's going to do jail time is because Texas is not doing super great in football right now. If they were a top 10 team, something tells me he would have gotten off with probation.
Well, was it their football coach? I think it's their basketball coach, right? Or is it like an assistant football coach?
Oh, is it a basketball coach? I
think it was a
assumed that it's
basketball
Texas. I assumed it was a
coach.
football coach. Okay, yeah, it was a basketball coach. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause-
So that's so he's definitely doing jail time.
I was like Sark's had his fair share of problems, but showing up drunk to a donor's dinner is not the same thing as beating the hell out of your fiance. So let's not do that.
I would like to say that in the same week that Beard showed up for court for a family domestic violence, Texas freshman guard Antoria Morris faces a misdemeanor family violence charge stemming from a June arrest after an incident with a former girlfriend. He was in court on Wednesday. So this just seems like maybe they need to do words when they're doing their game plan.
Y'all just gotta.
It feels like they are off track.
Yeah, y'all gotta chill. Y'all gonna need to chill for sure.
Yeah. But all right, let's move on to our main topic of the day. We are introducing the Pucks Out Awards. Every year we do our mid-season breakdown and predictions of who we think are going to win. The Rocket Richard, the Hart, all the different awards in the NHL. But we always critique them. This one should be like this. This one should be like this. So what we're doing is we are actually following up with something that to make the world a better place. We are introducing the Pucks Out Awards, who we think deserve certain awards for certain things. We're not going to just copy. We're not going to just have the highest goal scorer. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but we'll have other things. So this is a brainstorm session. We want to hear from you, the fans. Normally people say, "Oh, there's no stupid suggestions," but there are stupid suggestions. Yeah. Don't come at us with a stupid suggestion.
Yeah. Well, no, come at us. But we are going to make fun of you. Okay, yes. Just so we're clear. Yeah, I would love to hear all the stupid things you have to say.
In fact, please do come at us with stupid suggestions, and we're going to make fun of it on the show.
And so I was thinking, awards are generally either in a positive or a negative light. And I figured we needed to kind of pick that direction. Are we going as a positive awards program? Are we going as a negative awards program? Are we going with something that we can measure, something that we, is just purely opinionated? Because I feel like we do a joke of the week every week. We have to have a joke of the year. just one person is the
Yeah.
overall joke of the year. I mean, we can do it in version of
Yeah.
hockey or just as a person, just a single person. I mean, I think we got to stick to hockey though. We find the biggest joke of the
Yeah.
year, and
Yeah.
we make him the joke of the year. So, a big thing is award names. What do we call our awards? I mean,
Exactly. I think joke of the year. I'm gonna throw that out there. I think we call it the Tony D'Angelo Award.
okay. Yeah, see, I feel like the joke of the year name and to be able to be named after that, you have to have not just been a joke in general, but like done things that are like super like put you above the rest. Like you're a higher level joke than just a current NHL player that's like a bad guy. Like I
So
would say
would perhaps
James
licking
Nolan.
people on the ice? Oh, okay.
Brad Marchand maybe, but I don't know that would make him a joke as much as it makes him
That's
like
more of just a troll.
weird. Yeah, it's just like an odd thing. Like he was doing it when he was winning games and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like it's hard to
Yeah.
argue of his tactic. I was thinking more like James Nolan or we could call it the Gary Bettman, like something like that,
Yeah.
like where the overall like level of jokeness is
Yeah.
there. So that's
Yeah.
just something that I want to think about.
Yeah. I think that there are some things that we should also award that can be measured that maybe
Okay.
go underappreciated. One of them, for example, secondary assists. Everyone does points and maybe even assists,
Okay.
but I feel like secondary assists. Yeah, that guy gets a point, but I feel like there's something to be said about the guy who passes it to the guy who passes it to the guy.
Right.
I feel like it's important. It's an important part of hockey, and especially for fantasy players, because that secondary assist can sometimes come in handy.
Oh yeah. For fantasy, the secondary assist is great. And I mean, it's like actually a really good measuring technique to find out if your guy is actually getting points and he's providing the value, or not that the secondary assist isn't, but if your guys have an overabundance of that secondary assist, it's
Yeah,
not really measurable with their performance to
yeah, it's
what
more right
they're
place, right
doing.
time.
So we'll do the secondary assist winner. Now, I don't want that to be a bad award though. I want that to be a good award because that dude
Yeah, that's definitely a good award.
he knows how to get points without actually having to do as much. So the secondary assist winner, I love it.
Yeah.
I would say that we definitely want to give an award for fighting minutes, right? I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean the best fighter, the guy that gets
Best or
flagged for fighting
most
the most.
frequent?
Fighting minutes.
Because there's obviously
I
you
think
have
total.
best fighters, but then you guys have then you have guys like Austin Watson who are maybe
Right.
not great fighters, but they sure do fight a lot.
Now, well, see, I would say fighting minutes is one category, and then we can pull like almost like a Heisman-esque, where we get like 4 or
Yeah.
5 fight candidates and we pick the best fight individually.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so best fight. I'm gonna say just over
The
the
best
side.
backup
like,
goalie. Obviously you have the tandem goalie awards, but I feel like sometimes the starter puts a lot of but carries his weight a lot in that best tandem goalie. I think there's something to be said about if you have just a good backup goalie.
I
Maybe,
feel like that'll
maybe
be
some
us
cases-
judging. I feel like that's us judging, the guy that's doing well. I say let's go the opposite of that. Let's pick the worst backup goalie. Like
Worse.
who
Okay,
who was the
kinda
guy
like
who
that.
who was the guy that like, yeah, man, like I was on the team, but he was, it was like
Yeah.
Vasilevsky's backup. Like sometimes he's decent, sometimes he's not, but it doesn't really matter when the dude plays 70 of the games, like so
Yeah.
so I will say worst backup slash I don't want to say just worse because the guy may be better, but like let's say
Yeah.
worse,
Most
like
useless backup?
useless is what I'm looking. And like for us, again, that's not a term of negativity. That's endearment. This guy's getting
Yeah.
paid NHL money
Yeah.
to hang out, dude. Like that's the dream. And so like I'm with it.
Yeah. One thing that I was thinking as well is this can go to an entire franchise. best promotional night.
Mm,
Sometimes
promotional
promotional nights are
night.
big deals for teams, and sometimes some are good, some are just bad.
Okay, we'll
Like
say
when the
best.
Preds did CEO night, nobody was happy about CEO night. That was bad. That was a bad
We'll,
choice by them.
we'll do the best worst promotional nights. And I think you misunderstood me when I was saying we have to have a name. I wasn't talking about naming the individual awards. Obviously, we need to do that. But what I'm saying is like like when you get an award at the Tonys, the award is a Tony or it's an Oscar. And so like what are our awards? Like you got a
Oh,
I got a puckless or I've got a,
yeah,
so that's more of what I'm thinking on a brainstorm of,
yeah.
like, so like, what would
The Puckies,
that's good. That's pretty good. That's pretty,
a pucker.
that's a pucker is, is funnier, but a little more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Just in the context of what you're doing. A pucky is the standard format, right? That's the way that
Yeah,
normally that folks are normally gonna go with. Um, I mean, I'm okay with leaving, picking out a few and then leaving this up to the peoples.
yeah,
Get like a consensus
yeah.
of the fans. Or different ideas. I mean,
Oh,
we like
yeah.
we said, we're just brainstorming this now. We'll have to kind of come up with an awards-esque program, and I say we definitely do like an awards show. Like
Yes.
we will have a separate show for these awards. Yeah. So best worst promotional night. That's a good one. Um. Hmm.
Do
These
we
are a
want
few
to do
good
some like
options.
classic awards? Like there's no official award through the NHL for best. I don't think there's one for best goal of the year.
Okay.
There was,
Do like
so maybe we do something like best goal, or maybe even sloppiest goal. Maybe one just kind of slides in, and it can
best
kind of be a
goal.
slam on a goalie.
Best worst. Sure, we could do like a best worst type format there. That's not bad. Maybe biggest hit. We want to
Ooh.
give a biggest hit
Biggest clean
category.
hit. I think it's important
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's got to be
can't
a clean hit.
no penalties on the hit.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's a big hit, we'll go big. Worst we'll just this is the dirtiest hit, but we're just getting
Yeah.
another hit category in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good baseline.
Yeah.
Good for us to kind of sink our teeth into and maybe think of a few more, but see what the folks have for
Yeah.
us.
And I feel like we can give it a unique name, but I think that what we should do is find the average minutes that a top 6 forward plays in a season.
Uh-huh.
And whoever is above that, at or above that average baseline, whoever has the least amount of points, the opposite of it. Because obviously we could just take the least amount of points and it's just the guy who doesn't play, but a guy who plays but just gets no points.
The worst. We'll say the worst best guy.
Yeah. The worst average guy.
The worst best guy of the average. All right. Yeah, we got it. Okay. I don't hate it. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work. We might just drop that one. People are like, what happened to the best average guy? I was like, well, we're the worst.
We waited for that.
Well, we did, but we're the worst. We're the worst guys, though. So we just don't do things if we decide, we're out on
it. I'm trying to think of some others. I'm trying to go through in my head, like the list of, obviously we have best GMs and we could just do worst GM, but that kind of goes into like the, the worst person
joke
thing, joke of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have here best coaches talk for interviews. Which coach is the best at the, just gotta play the corners. You just gotta, keep grinding. Just gotta,
yeah, we could. That seems like a lot. Yeah, we could. That seems like a more difficult research topic, though. Having to like look up and watch boring coach interviews to just figure out who's like, oh man, that guy really knows how to, So maybe I would leave that one as a maybe for me.
Yeah. Let's see. Secondary assist, best backup goalie, best coach talk, best fighter, worst backup goalie. Promotional nights, best worst goal of the year, biggest clean hit, the worst best of the average. I don't have anything else here listed. Do we want to do something about the fans? Best and worst fan bases?
We could. Is that fan bases are tough though in NHL, right? It's not as prominent as other sports. I mean, we can do it for sure. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know where we're gonna get our.
We'll look at it.
Yeah. But I mean, throw it on this. That's what a brainstorming session is.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk anybody out of any idea. You just got to throw out the ideas on top of the ideas. So,
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm drawing some blanks here.
What? Best beard, best playoff beard.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Best playoff beard,
which means first they have to make the playoff. So hey, they got to get there first. I think we have a good baseline.
Yes. Well, and we got plenty of time because if we're going all the way to best playoff beard, apparently these awards are not given until after like June. So we got a long while.
See, here's the thing. We're not that bullshit where we give awards based off regular season. It's regular season and postseason performance. I mean, that's part
for sure.
The Stanley Cup is part of
no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, just because you're the best player on a shitty team doesn't mean you're just gonna win an award.
Yeah, you can maybe win the cup.
Yeah. You need to be the worst. Yeah, you need to be the worst best of the average on a decent team.
Right, exactly. Get your average up, buddy. Stop scoring so many points, and you can win yourself an award.
Yeah. And obviously, what I'm going to do is whoever wins these, I will be getting into their DMs on Twitter and seeing if maybe one of them will reply back.
Well, come back and accept. Honestly, it'll be it'll be the awards downfall if we ever get anybody to actually accept it, because then we're just going to kind of guide our choices towards who maybe would accept it. Come on and accept it. So yeah, let's do it. We're definitely, I mean, we got to let them know they want, but see, what if they do accept it, then we actually have to go out and buy them a puxy, or something like that.
Oh, we don't. I mean, there is no indication of what a puxy will be. I mean, it could be.
It's just a picture of
we could keep it on brand.
It's just a picture of my dong. Happy puxy, buddy. They're like, oh my god, is he sick?
But all right, guys, we're gonna move on into games of the week.
Games of the week. Bobby and Brandon do the work, so you don't have to. The best from around the NHL and what to watch.
Okay, I had a rough week this past week. We still have one game left to play this week.
It still can get rough. It can get worse for you, buddy.
Yeah, it could.
Don't worry.
So we do not have a. We have one game remaining. Right now, we are currently both tied at 18 and 16. We will have a money update for you next week. But let's just jump straight into the games. Why don't you start us off with your Thursday game?
Excuse me. Yeah, for sure. I have the Kings playing the Bruins, 6 p.m. Thursday the 15th. Forgot I was supposed to be picking these guys. I'm gonna go with. It's hard to not go with this. So Bruins puck line. Figure I will just ride that money horse as long as it keeps paying. So.
All right, my Thursday game. I've got Toronto heading over to. I was going to say heading north to New York. Heading south to New York for a Thursday 7 p.m. game. I'm taking Toronto puck line.
Okay. Not bad. Puck line, worked out for you great. Game 1 last week hasn't so far for you.
It has not at all.
Though. Working great for me. I think I've won all 4 of my bets so far. I've lost one game, but won the 4 bets. Next game is actually you.
I've got Chicago going to Minnesota Friday at 10 p.m. I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to take Minnesota, just money line.
Okay. 8 p.m. on the same day on Friday. I have the Blues playing the Flames. Blues have been, not playing too great Flames have kind of dropped a bit as well, at least the last few games that I've seen. I think I'm just gonna go Flames money line. I'm not gonna get fancy with it.
Nice. Next up, I have got Dallas at Carolina. I mean, it's hard. I mean, Dallas has been doing good. They've got some good goal scorers. Right now, I think they still have the best goal scorer. I'm going to take Carolina puck line.
Not bad. I got Dallas playing tonight. I got the puck line on them, which is luckily +1.5. So hopefully I can come out with both wins tonight. But for Saturday, I have the Jets and the Canucks. I'm gonna go with the Jets puck line. I am feeling confident on that one. And I think you are incorrect. There are currently is one person that is ahead of Mr. Robertson in goal scoring, and I'll bet you could never in 1,000 years guess who that man is.
Man, I mean, it's a long shot, but maybe a guy named Connor McDavid?
No. I'm just kidding. It was.
Okay. I was going to say Austin Matthews.
Well, Tage Thompson right there in Buffalo is right up behind with 21. So
yeah, I think he had like a 5-goal game the other night.
So makes that'll push you right up, won't it?
Yeah. All right. On Sunday, I also have Winnipeg on their road trip heading up to Seattle. And I'm going to take Seattle. I'm going to take the puck line on this.
We got that Sunday. I have the Senators playing the Wild actually at 1 p.m. So a little bit before Bob's. I really, the Senators obviously play well at this time of day, as the Preds saw. So that is why I'm gonna take the Wild, but I think I'm just gonna take the money line side of things.
Nice. All right. I have got for my final game Florida heading into Boston. And you've got the Bruins at home, puck line. It's hard for me to fight that. The President Cup winners. I'm going to tell you on your Boston pick, and I'm going to say Boston puck line.
Yeah, I mean it's a good bet these days. It really is. They're really dominant until they kind of slow down. It's hard to bet against them. The puck line, you think about adding it in, but hard to bet against them on money line for sure.
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, my final game is the Oilers playing the Predators. As much as I dislike this, I'm gonna go with the Oilers puck line. Just not really pleased with how we've been playing as of late. Some games have been good, some games have been not so good. I'm just gonna bet some coin on Draisaitl, RNH, and McDavid to drop some goals in. So
yeah,
puck line Oilers.
Nice. But all right. So yeah, that wraps up this week's games of the week. Let's move into our joke of the week.
The weird. Corey Perry. Yeah, I don't like that. Wild.
I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it.
Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
You posted this one. What do we got?
Oh, I didn't find an article. There wasn't anything funny going on in the world. But I was looking at hockey for hockey news, and this video resurfaced, and it's these dudes straight up just going to town on each other, fighting in the stands of a hockey game. This old boy gets absolutely manhandled for a good little bit. They finally break the two fellas up. He stands up and he decides to intimidatingly slam his head into the glass, while staring down the other guy, and knocks himself out. So after all this, this guy pummels him, and I've just never got that. Like, do you think that it makes you look awesome, like to slam your head? Like, do you need to keep that good? Like, that's CTE. Like people that have
Yeah.
helmets get head injuries from this. I don't know, man. It was just like, what a joke, buddy. He'd already gotten beaten up is the thing.
Yeah.
It would have been different if he beat the guy up and he's like, I'm gonna got some adrenaline, like let me do this. He did not. He just got waylaid by himself.
Yeah, and I'm watching this. First off, he's getting like it starts off. There's a lot of jokes in this. First off, it's a 1v1, and a guy randomly shows up and jumps in to make it a 2v1, and then the guy's buddy's like, "No, dude, get out of there."
Right? What are you doing?
It's a sloppy fight.
I think it's not like an NHL game. I mean, well, it may be at Arizona. Maybe a Coyotes
That's a lot of people
game.
for an Arizona game.
That is true. There's like 13 people in the background. So
yeah. And then the guy falls, and it looks like It looks like there might be mustard bottles on the ground where that guy falls.
This might be a Tennessee game.
And this guy, and I'm pretty sure one of those beers that falls right into that lady's purse. And it's just, I mean, he goes down like
he drops hard.
I will say though, the guy that lost had the only takedown in the fight.
That's what I'm saying, man. And he was jazzed about just getting absolutely wrecked, and he crumbled, dude. He dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, he's got some good crowd work though. Like he
was working the crowd.
Back. He immediately he throws the two birds to the crowd. He actually no, he throws one of them is the bird, and then he's got the rock, like the what is it, the love symbol? What is that? The party on, bro, or whatever. Not the rock.
Mahalo.
Yeah.
Mahalo.
He's got the one bird, the chaw and the bird.
Chaw. He's just chawing up his people. Swerve. That's what everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted it. They got we're laughing. That's his special move, dude. That is what that's what he brings to the table. He was jazzed up to catch some CTE for the fans, dude. He would never have let it go.
Yeah. That's just all right. Yeah, that's, I mean, go on Reddit, check out Fight Breaks Out in the Hockey Stands. And you'll find it.
Idiots fighting things. It's
But all right, we're heading into our pop culture. We're talking the MCU once again. Phase 4 TV shows. You brought up this idea right before recording. I like it. Mainly we're just talking about TV shows.
I don't really care what you like, Bobby.
Which Phase 4 TV show has the most rewatchability? You are rewatching Loki. You said it's a good rewatch.
Yes.
What are your favorite? What makes it a good rewatch?
Honestly, I would say probably like the introduction really of the multiverse. We are gonna have to get introduced and know Kang pretty well. That's the main villain from this phase. I feel like it gives a good opportunity to kind of see what he really is capable of, and the powerfulness of the TVA. And in the wake of the whole MCU up to this point has been it's been the pursuit of Infinity Stones, right? And how great of a power they are. And them having drawers full of them and using them as paperweights in this other void, I guess. I don't know. I just like the kind of like the different time zones and the timekeepers and the getting to Kang and all the different Lokis. I mean, it's 6 episodes, and I feel like I'm still getting and seeing new aspects of it. So that one to me has some really good rewatchability, and I want to say She-Hulk will too. I'll probably probably go back and watch some She-Hulk too, because of the lack of seriousness to it. It's more of a fun show that's just kind of there. But I mean, what about you? I mean, there's some that you said, hey, I'll never go back and watch. I don't know that I feel that way about any of them. I feel like I'm okay with going back and watching any of them.
And after thinking about it, after looking at the list of shows, I think you're right. I think for me, Loki is definitely one of them because it's a lot of lore dump and it feels very like there's not so many. Like it feels like in Moon Knight and WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, they're very storyline based. Where
Yes.
and like you if you already know what's happening, then it's like okay, you're just watching to watch it. Where Loki is a little bit different. I think What If is a series I could definitely rewatch a couple times.
Mhm.
I really like the What If series.
That's
And so
one
I
that
think
I
for me it would go
haven't been
What
able to
If
get
and
super
then
into. I
okay.
haven't been able
So
to get super
it
into
does
What
start
If.
off a little slow, but towards the end, because they do go into like the Ultron storyline.
Mhm.
And after Marvel said that they are bringing Ultron back in some way, I think that there's the first half of What If is very like okay, here are creators having fun and it's just good entertaining TV,
Mhm.
and then the second half of the series is
Okay.
more okay. It's more season like more. There's actually a storyline to each one that they kind of tie into each other, and then they tie into the multiverse. So I
Yeah.
think they did a good job of giving you entertainment that's not so intertwined, but then also making it work.
I'll tell you the one that probably has the least amount to me. Um, and honestly, probably Hawkeye. I
Me
thought
too.
it
Yeah,
was a
hundred
good
percent.
series. Thought it was a good series. Thought it, was a good little addition, a good little fun mix up. Didn't find it all overly interesting.
Well, yeah,
I believe we got Kingpin in there, right?
yeah,
So I mean that
best
was
part,
the
best part.
most important part of Hawkeye to me was getting Wilson Fisk into that world.
Yeah,
Miss Marvel also, while having some interesting parts, probably not really interested in rewatching it.
yeah,
Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think I could rewatch, given the right circumstances.
yeah.
Uh, Loki for
What about Moon
sure.
Knight?
Moon Knight, yes. I think Moon Knight was
Yeah,
an easy answer for me. She-Hulk, easy yes for me. And I know you were not as big of a fan, but WandaVision, yes for me. I didn't have all of the issues that I mean, understandably, you did have as a comic fan. I didn't have all of those, and I mean, honestly, I'll watch Elizabeth Olsen do anything. Okay, so that was more my thoughts. I think that there's some good ones for sure. I'll tell you what I do want to do now that it's official. I really do think I need to go back in and rewatch the other groups: Daredevil, Jessica
yeah.
Jones, Luke
Especially with them
Cage,
bringing Daredevil in and stuff.
Luke Cage, maybe some Defenders, maybe some Punisher. I
Definitely no
will
Iron
not
Fist.
be watching Iron Fist, okay?
No.
I am not watching Loris Tyrell yell at me, I'm the power of Kunlun. Yeah. No, shut up. He's out. That was bad, man. That was Iron Fist was
Yeah, it was bad. It was
bad,
bad.
dude.
I know I said WandaVision. It was a show I didn't like a lot, but I do think I could actually rewatch it now that I'm thinking about it because I think it would be interesting knowing the beginning, the middle, and the end of the entire series, looking for the little teeny things that you might
Mm-hmm.
have missed that kind of hinted there.
Oh,
Because obviously there were the
sure.
big things that hinted at stuff, like little things, but like kind of like when you watch like those like Haunting of Hill House stuff, those little teeny things in the background. I love that in shows. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
so much that it like Hill House has ruined all scary movies for me now because I always look in the background for things thinking that writers are going to put stuff in the back. They don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that looking for those little teeny Easter eggs, knowing spoiler, knowing Agatha Harkness is in there, like watching her character again, knowing who she is would be very interesting. Seeing how she responds to like when Wanda is breaking the
Mm-hmm.
the world a little bit, how she
Yeah.
responds to that.
Well,
So yeah,
I'll
I
tell
do
you,
think I could go back and watch it.
we're having this discussion about all these shows and which is has good rewatchability, which one's your favorite, which one you like, which one you don't like. I mean, all of these shows are just secondhand shows whenever House of Harkness comes out, right? I mean, that's my opinion. I think that Catherine Hines, Agatha, House of Harkness is going to be
I'm excited.
above and beyond. I think it's the perfect character to be able to kind of have a TV show on.
Yes.
So I'm very excited. I think that is something that the MCU really needs to do more of, is give you the villain stories, right? I mean, we're just getting hero
Yeah.
stories with villains in them, but like, you know, Thanos. Think about a Thanos movie. Like,
Yes,
how did he get there?
specifically, I want the Thanos movie, and obviously, you didn't watch What If. I don't know if you got to the episode
I
where
didn't.
T'Challa was taken as Star Lord.
I,
So one
I,
of
you know, I conceptually, I know a bunch of
yeah,
them. I haven't like watched it, but yes, go
so in that one, Thanos is not a bad guy. He's just a bartender at nowhere.
ahead.
Because T'Challa was able to be like, "Hey, man, you really shouldn't do this. Like, just chill, just join us." And he's like, "Okay, sure." And so he just becomes a bartender.
Okay.
And I want to see a story. I want to see a remake of Cheers with Thanos the bartender. That's
Like,
all I want.
is Thanos Sam Malone, or would you prefer Thanos to be the Woody Harrelson character,
Oh,
or going even further and going to Coach and him being the old gruffy? I think it'd be funny for him to be the silly young Woody Harrelson character that
I
doesn't
think
know anything.
Thanos needs to be Woody Harrelson, but then who's Sam? Which villain is Sam? I mean, do we want to?
I mean, maybe like Ronan the Destroyer, I mean,
Yeah,
or like probably more like an Ultron. Ultron would be a
I
great
was just thinking of that.
Sam.
Only because I want more James Spader in my life. So
Right.
James Spader, yeah.
Well, I think Carla has to be. We're gonna go totally switch the aesthetic
Yes.
of Carla, and we're going ScarJo. ScarJo is gonna be Carla's, the quippy,
Yeah.
rude, just wanting to get
Yeah.
out of here
But
and go home.
But an alternate universe where ScarJo plays Gamora. I feel
Okay.
like.
Okay, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, who are the regulars?
Well, I mean, Cap's definitely there. I think Cap and Iron Man are Cliff and Norm, easy, because they're like the two main cats.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's literally I would have to think it out.
This show has to be made, and it has to be filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Obviously,
I mean,
obviously,
yeah,
the CGI is gonna be it's gonna have to be insane for this to be good.
But then, okay, who's the Frasier? Who's Frasier in Cheers in this year?
Oh, well, that's easy. Dr. Bruce Banner. I mean, are you kidding me?
Okay,
Easy
well,
money.
I was thinking of Professor X.
Oh, okay.
Xavier, yeah.
Okay.
And then he gets a dope spin-off series.
Well, see, I think that would be cool, but Professor X is a pretty level-headed, logical guy the whole time. Whereas Frasier is super smart guy, but then is also has his Frasier-y quirks, and I feel like that's perfect for the Hulk.
Yeah.
We will have to have an actual discussion on this
because we got to
come in with
cast
some
all this. Because
ideas.
we need to cast Niles. I mean, this is going to be a whole
We're
show.
casting, right. We're
There's so many
casting the
spin-offs.
shows. We're casting the shows, and we don't have the time for that, Bob.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
was going to say we still need to cast Ross Geller and Chandler.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe we'll do a draft where we draft Marvel characters to play characters in this show. We could do Friends. We could do The Office. We could do.
People are like, you guys really ran out of content way too early.
We're like, what are you talking about? We were saving that content for our golden age of discussion.
Yeah.
Can you just you just have Hawkeye as your Jim, and he just.
All I can think about is, all right, who's Dwight? And but all right, guys, we're not. Let's move it into what's snapping their sticks.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
Okay, those of you who listen to the show know that we go to Preds games a lot. We have I have all-inclusive zone tickets. Pretty much, you pay for the ticket, you get there, all the beer you can drink, some mixed drinks and stuff like that. There was a Saturday matinee game a time and a game that is usually a sellout. It was again, and one of the big games for the Preds, and they did not have their A team staff at the bar. They didn't even have their B team. This was, in fact, I heard one of the bartenders explaining to the other bartender how to pour a beer from a tap. I think that is unacceptable when all the beer is from a tap.
Yes.
Where, I mean, it's not hard to find a bartender, someone with their ABC card who knows how to pour from a tap.
Right. Yeah. It was disappointing. I mean, and then we get to see our boys and our peoples, so that's
we
always
get to see our Julius.
Mine is just something that I hadn't had to complain about in a while. Figured, I guess now I'll have to complain about it since it's been happening constantly all the time. All the rain lately wearing me out.
It's been insane.
Just
our dog is constantly dirty.
Yeah. I am not a fan. Want it to rain, go away. Don't come again another day. Let's just have a drought. I'm good with it. I just need to get
full on drought.
No more rain. So maybe it's all out of its system now. We're going to enjoy Christmas, a dry Christmas. I mean, it's raining. It's trying to be a white Christmas, but it's not cold enough. So we don't want rain. Just either the snow or not the snow.
The drought.
Or the drought. The drought. One of the two. The snow. The snow or the drought. That's only two options. Santa, your move. Okay? Your move, buddy. So, yeah, man.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. For Brandon, I'm Bobby. This has been Pucks Out Podcast. We'll see you all again next week.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.